Anyways, let's go ahead and we're gonna redo the Lego Scav. We're on 15 FPS. Yeah, it is what it is. But because I've got it at the lowest settings, but it is what it is. So, we got Scav up in the north, kind of west side, and then we have LegoMan in the south, kind of in the east side. But I'm gonna go ahead and get a nice little restart on this one since it's gonna be on different platforms. Just want to make sure everything goes smoothly. As we see, Scav is going ahead and get into the 2 lizards, while LegoMan goes ahead and tries to continue building on farming, has no idea what is coming. Up until now, looking at the amount of base availability, Scav definitely has the advantage here with literally 3 mills that is available to automatically compared to Lego's 1. And of course, as we continue saying that, we have a little bit of lizard abuse here, with Lego losing one of his pigs in the early goings. So we're probably seeing another possible attack here over here for Scav, and Scav does just that, taking out another pig, and once again being a little gremlin and running away. Some pretty solid stuff here for the start for Scav, as now he's going ahead and get ready to suit up as he prepares for his next attack. And right now, LegoMan has 3 mills. Well, not 3 mills, excuse me. Got 3 squirrel ready to go. See if we can find a way to counter this, but we do get a good defense there from Lego, trying to get the response for him to finally stop getting abused from the lizards. But of course, Scav is still on the hunt, trying to get a mix going, but we do see Lego going ahead for a counterattack, and he does take out one of the lizard mills, or warrens I should say, excuse me. And he's just going to continue on this onslaught. I'm not sure what Scav is doing. Of course, Scav is going over and taking out basically almost all of the pigs, but he has to worry about his own home base because he really has nothing to help regenerate it, and it's going to be a LegoMan victory, it looks like, as he goes ahead and loses all of his pigs, trying to put in 2 more squirrels to try to pick it up, but it's pretty much game, as LegoMan does take game 1 with a 1-0 lead here in the start of the match. So I'll go ahead and put that in the chat because I just don't feel like setting it up on here because of the struggle. The struggle is real. But yo, 1-0 LegoMan starting things off. So let's go ahead and get into the game 2 here as we hop into the second one. Again, sorry for the poor frame rate, but there's not much I can do with this poor internet. I'm probably going to have someone help me out next time who wants to, like, buddy with me, but it is what it is. So, over here in the east side, we have LegoMan in the green, while we have Scav all the way up in the north with the red. So that's going to be an interesting matchup to see how this goes. So, when it comes to decks, both teams are pretty much the same. Earlier, didn't really get to talk about it much game 1. But we'll see how things go for both of them. As for maps, Scav once again has a little bit of a mill advantage. Pretty much have 2 mills almost immediately, while LegoMan only has like 1 available pretty much immediately when he hits the 8 farms. But no shenanigans going on this time, as both of them are going to go for the Gentleman 8 farm matchup. I would not be surprised if this heads into a 16 farm route. But it is what it is. I will say that there is this one that could possibly be a pocket. We'll go ahead and look at the vision for both. Both of them scattered pretty much the entirety of this map, knowing that there really isn't much to play around with here. I'm pressing the wrong button. There we go. As both of them are going to go ahead and set up 2 squirrel whirlwinds each. And it looks like we're going to get a third tier 1 Warren, but Scav's going to go for more of a Squizzard action. And while LegoMan is just going to continue to stack up on squirrels. And we do see him bringing up a second mill already. And obviously we're going to have Scav scout that pretty quickly. And so he responds by looking like he's going to get a mill of his own. So with that in mind, I do imagine him trying to go ahead and see if he can snipe this one, but I really doubt that he'll be able to, because I'm sure that LegoMan will go ahead and set them up, as he does. Set them up on the ready to go in between those 2 mills, which is good. So of course, we're seeing Scav once again trying to go for a little bit of a gremlin lizard attack, but obviously with the superior numbers in tier 1 compared to lizard 6 compared to the 12 squirrels, that was definitely not going to work. He decides to give them a little bit of a bath as he tries to think of something else in mind. And meanwhile, LegoMan has decided to go ahead and put down his tier 2, which is the skunks. And right now we do have a quick rundown. Get a quick little battle trying to get something, and he does able to get 1 pig as he does go back home. Really good way to try to take advantage of that, but I don't imagine him using the lizards as much, but he's trying to stack up on the squirrel count. The squirrel counts are very even, so, but then here comes the skunk that could possibly give Lego the advantage, but it looks like he's going to fall back because of the superior numbers in the battle already starting. And he does lose that 1 skunk, so really good battle there for Scav in the early goings of that one for the first battle. Kind of floats flew a little bit, but he does put in another tier 2. He put in 2 tier 2 warrens, putting in falcons there to get a little bit more firepower. And he does kind of open up his arsenal of going for the mine. So LegoMan does know he has to be kind of careful, seeing what he's got to do. So now as things start to kind of lower down a little bit. Hey Matthias, welcome to the stream. I don't know if you're from the Tooth and Tail chat, but you know, it is what it is. We rolling. And now here we go. We have lots of tier 2 getting put over here, and Scav actually putting down a couple of ferrets as well, which is very interesting. I actually do want to use ferrets into my arsenal, I'm not gonna lie, because I think it's could be very interesting to play around with, but I know they're kind of niche as well. But it's going to be interesting to see how things go. But meanwhile, over for Lego, he is really stacking up on tier 2. Already got some snakes going, already has a full set of skunks. So he's really going to be relying on the tier 2 as he's starting to slowly sell some of the squirrels and is now bringing in the wolf into play. Now, one thing to note is that Scav does not have a tier 3 whatsoever. So it's going to be interesting to see how these two teams set up. See if he's trying to get an early shot here with the ferrets, but it's not going to be any dice. But the good thing here when it comes to Scav is that he does have kind of a little bit of a wall balloon to probably take out those snakes pretty easily. if LegoMan's not too careful. But he does have 4 snakes, so he's trying to see if he can get a couple of good tags in. And he does tag, I believe he tags one of the ferrets. But it doesn't last very long. But now we're going to see the combination of the pigeons going along with the tier 2. I've seen that quite a bit in our match. But yeah, right now both teams are kind of at a stalemate at this moment, with both armies just kind of testing the waters with each other, trying to see what they could do. I will give Scav a little bit of the advantage because with the balloons coming out, it's going to be something. Hey Flair, welcome to the stream. Hopefully everything is a lot smoother than what it was on Twitch. It looks like I'm probably gonna have to rely on YouTube from now on. But yep, and here comes the 3rd balloon, and Scav is looking to have quite a bit of an edge right now with the defense, and with the fact that he's already started a 3rd mill as well. It's going to put him in quite of a distinct advantage, being defended very well, slowly but surely getting his economy up. Meanwhile, for LegoMan, he does have his wolf out, so that could be a huge change, as he does go ahead and start trying to get ready for a pretty big battle. So right now, he's just waiting for his army to go ahead and get its nice little wolf buff. Waiting for the bark orders, and now they're going to go ahead and get this battle going. It's going to be interesting to see how this goes, but I will say the wolf is doing his magic, taking pretty much treating Scav's army like butter right now, as majority of the balloons are gone. He has an opening. He's probably going to go ahead and do what he's got to do to get rid of most of the army and take out some of these mills. But instead he's going to go for the more depleted one, which is a bit surprising, considering the fact that he has a fresh one here, but he does have the opportunity to go ahead and go after others. And of course, we do have LegoMan taking it up 2-0 so far. Yeah, this is the patch test right here. So we are now up 2-0 when it comes to LegoMan after a nice long battle, waiting for the wolf to come in and really do clean house. Very good final battle there, as both teams were really just trying to go for the long one. Almost 9 minutes, I think, as well. So that was a very long game too. But LegoMan is up 2-0 here. Yeah, I forgot to put that on there as Lego. Hopefully it is. I'm not spoiling it too much with the fact that I think I'm a little bit ahead, but it is what it is. Alright, so we are now going to go ahead and get into game number 3. Will Lego be able to sweep Scav here, or will Scav be able to take one from Lego? We're about to find out. So, going into the northeast position, well, northern position here is LegoMan, while Scav will be rocking the southern position. And I have to say, this map is it's definitely a very interesting one, as LegoMan has a lot of mills to choose from in the beginning. Meanwhile, for Scav, he does have to travel around a little bit, but I think the big thing to keep note of is all the mills basically are on high grounds, all but one, which is a very interesting situation here. So it'll be a little bit more tricky to try and get a little sneak attack in, as Scav is actually looking to go ahead and be a gremlin once again, but it doesn't really look like it's going to work out very well, as he does go to get the sell. He does get the sell off, so the economy is going to be in more of Scav's favor, but not really by much, from what I know. So right now, Lego is going to go ahead and start building up some squirrels in case another attack happens, but you might be a little bit too worried for a little bit. But it's better safe than sorry considering the previous attack, and he does want to make sure to tech up very quickly, making sure that he doesn't stay too far behind an army as well. But I do imagine him possibly going for the mill, that he does. Going for kind of a pocket mill position, a little bit farther away to use, but at the same time it might be more difficult to get to. But it really depends. Oh, I guess we should probably talk about the decks as well. Scav did change it up for this final matchup. Obviously, the moles weren't here before, or the crows. This is the first time we're going to be seeing the crows here in the new patch. I don't know how crows work too much, so if someone's willing to go ahead and kind of explain it in the chat, that'd be amazing. I would love that. But getting into the battles real quick, Scav trying to be aggressive, but I don't think it's going to work too well. Well, maybe actually it is a little bit, but obviously he sells and goes home because there's not much really to that. So LegoMan certainly did get the advantage here, and he's going to go for a quick counterattack possibly, but actually decides to go on back home, get the defense going. Don't want to lose too much. So right now, a little bit of early tier 1 battles here and there. Both sides just trying to see if they can get something going. Scav does take a notice of the second mill, so he may go ahead and target that real quick, and he does so. But instead he goes on home. He knows that considering how small the map is, it probably is not the best idea. And of course we're going to get another quick battle as there's a lot of squirrels. Oh, well, maybe a quick never mind, because he realizes... I'm honestly surprised that he decided not to go for it, but he doesn't have the full amount of squirrels yet, because both of them are even, and plus the replenishing and possibly come into play as well. But right now, Scav is continuing to build up as many squirrels as he can, while LegoMan is going to go ahead and get into tier 2. Now, of course, as I say that, he does put in 2 falcons. Try and boost up the DPS. And looking into it, both are pretty even in economy, it looks like. Let's go ahead and look at that. So, army value. LegoMan is a little bit ahead, but the economy is essentially the same. Oop, wrong button. Sorry. But yeah, so far, both teams is trying to get something going, as we do see a quick attack here from LegoMan as he's trying to be a little bit more pesky, but the Falcons are out, so seeing a quick retreat. See, trying to push them back over to the home base and immediately goes back home. That's the one thing about these small maps. You get to see a lot of action compared to like larger maps where you get to see the big setup for the big fight. But here you just see constant fights and only having very little time to really do any kind of updates to the army or trying some more economy going. Right now Scav has a little bit ahead of the economy as he does have 2 pigs down compared to the 1 that's already on its way. And of course we're seeing Scav trying to slowly but surely push in, but I don't think with the skunks being a little bit more peskier, it's going to be more difficult to get into. The scout will go for just retweet for sure. A flying melee T1. Yeah, I figured that being the case. But right now, it's looking like that the skunks are really trying to do some very serious damage here, as majority of the tier 1 is basically just getting depleted by these skunks and trying to get more ability to be able to take out these falcons as well. That's probably going to be the main goal. But the pigeons for Scav working their magic, making sure they stay alive. And so even though LegoMan has done quite a bit of damage over to Scav, the 2 falcons staying alive really did help in that regard. I'm very curious if he's going to decide to put in snakes to give that counter to the falcons, but I don't know if that's going to be the best move. But right now, the 1 mil is almost out, so this one battle could do it if they're able to hold it. And it looks like we actually did get Scav to win, so we have now got the first one on the board for Scav. Very scrappy play going on for each battle is going back and forth, back and forth. Some really good stuff here. Go back to more replays. So, with that, we are going to have a game 4. So, it's still going to be 2-1 Lego. But we now have a little bit of a series going on. Yeah, it's definitely 1 HP. I think that the big thing was just trying to get that 1 mil down so they can have the opportunity to get that advantage, but it just didn't work out very well. But now we have ourselves a game 4. It's going to be very interesting to see how this goes. So, for the west, we have LegoMan in the green, and over to the east side, we have Scav on the east. In the red, I should say. So, Scav really changing it up once again. This time with 2 tier 3s. Only relying on the skunk as a tier 2. And once again using the squirrel and pigeon combination with the MG. That's going to be very interesting to play around with the 2 tier 3s. Meanwhile, for LegoMan, LegoMan still rocking the same thing as per usual. I can see that LegoMan really likes this deck, really prefers it, very strong, loving the use of the pigeon to help heal everything up as they go along, but do have a little bit of a copy in tier 1, but tier 2, that's going to be where it's different, as LegoMan only has 1 compared to Scav's 2 tier 3s. So I'm curious to see how this goes. I'm very curious. But looking at the map, it seems like both sides are actually LegoMan may have to 1-base this because there really isn't a lot of good options here when it comes to mills, at least in my eyes from what it looks like. Meanwhile, for Scav, it's not any better because there is 2 that are there, but this one's kind of a good bit away, and this one's just essentially you have to literally go around to get. So, but they both will be getting another mill, so we'll see how this plays out for sure. Because I know that like both players probably didn't like how this is set up, from how things are going. But you know, it is what it is. But looking into both of these guys, they have seen majority of the fray here compared to one another, so they have seen what most of them are really looking at. And looking for economy, LegoMan's a little bit ahead, while we do have an MG there for Scav, but I don't know if that's going to be very useful because I'm not sure what the range is when it comes to that. Okay, never mind. It does reach in that corner, so it's a good spot. Okay, never mind. Ignore my silly commentary. But with the 1 MG, it's going to be good to try to protect it as much as possible and also give a good fair warning in case some shenanigan goes on. But it looks like both sides are going to continue to farm up. LegoMan is ahead by 1 farm, it looks like. So, nope, they're both even Steven, so that's pretty good. While Scav is going to get 1 tier 2 down compared to Lego's 2 tier 2, as he does have both the snakes and the skunks on the ready. I'm very curious to see when he's going to put up. Well, of course, as I was about to say it, the wolf is ready to go ahead and come on out. So it's going to be interesting to see how that comes into play. But he does have to stall a little bit, considering it does take a significant amount of time for Tier 3 to come out in this regard. But Lego's looking like he's going to already see it. Yep, big wolf ready to bark some orders. And of course, LegoMan is ready to go ahead and get onto that now. Going for that third mill. So I'm very curious about this kind of strategy here when building a mill on your way to a battle. And actually, this is going to be a goodbye to VMG. And that's a really big opportunity here to go ahead and take out this mill right here. So we're gonna have a huge battle, but it's not gonna look like it's gonna go very far, as he's trying to inch his way closer, but it's going to be a little bit. And right now he's building more and more pigeons. 15 pigeons for LegoMan. Oh my goodness. And he's probably gonna mosey on down and check out this one mill. But now here comes the wolf, but I don't know if he's gonna do too much, considering that the army's basically depleted at this point. But he's gonna have to try his best to get something out of it. But that gristmill is probably gonna be done here. That is so many pigeons. Oh my goodness. And the gristmill does go down, but I'm pretty sure he's going to go pressure on, because with how things are set up, I really don't think there's going to be much for Scav to do here. So right now, Scav is just trying to find something. He does get the badger out, but I don't know if it's going to be much to try and fend off. But the badger is moseying on down, but he is going to die just almost immediately, getting stuck in that gas. And it looks like they're finally... Scav is kind of trying to push things around, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. And that is it. So, after 4 games... is because of a base race. Ah, okay, that makes sense. Okay. You know, honestly, I thought that when it comes to the mill... Honestly, when it comes to the mill, I'm pretty sure that my thought process was just like, buy a quick mill just so it can take a little bit. That's kind of like what I thought when I see people like buy mills on their way. But a base race does make sense. But after that, Lego does take the series 3-1